Welcome, legendary Scott Waters fan club. What do we have here? Well, Scorpions, one of the best bands in rock history. Quiet recording on this live album. Gee whiz, I've got Ramones full blast downstairs. I better try and drown that up. But anyway, Worldwide Live. Excellent album cover. Love this picture. Talk about a classic picture in rock history. That's total rock and roll. The inside's got tour dates and concert pictures. Oh, big picture of my hand, not... But anyway, there's the track listing is excellent. It's got your 80s era Scorpions. I don't know what I like better, the 80s or 70s Scorpions, but that's another debate for another day. But anyway, big edition of rock t-shirts here with Greg the Egg, Blackmore Rules, and to start out with some Canadian heavy metal. Thor! John Michael Thor and Steve Price on guitar. The dynamic duo, 25 years of rock. This one I managed to get autographed. 2008. Saw them at Sweden Rock, was it the first year I went there? I don't know, I've been there 3 times, but out of the 50 or 60 bands or whatever or more, they were my favorite one to watch for a stage show. You know, he's breaking bricks with a big sledgehammer and bending steel, and it was just excellent. Throwing shirts in the crowd and totally knows how to work things. And he's been part of a festival. It's called Muscle Rock in Sweden, small town Tyrolone or something. But the band Bullet, Sweden's Bullet, helps put it on, or they do put it on, but they've had Thor as kind of the focal point guy to show the true metal, and it's a true metal festival. I want to go to see that one day, for sure, and it's just before Sweden Rock, actually, too. But anyway, here's another one from Thor, the album Sign of the V. And Sign of the V is in Vancouver, because look at, he's got a Canucks jersey, and if I'm not mistaken, he bought the rights to that jersey. That's the one that the Canucks won the Stanley Cup in like 1917, so he bought the merchandise rights. I don't know if that's still on the go, but this album was pretty good. And the back, it's got the classic picture of Thor. And he was a Canadian championship bodybuilder kind of guy too. He's not just a poser, he actually was the strong man. Okay. Now, speaking of underrated albums, or people, now here to kick your ass, the Pat Travers Band! Just love that emblem. That's not Pat Travers who autographed this, though. There's a band, Count 77. I think they only have one album out, at least a year or two ago they only had one album out, and they 2 cover songs on it. One is Snorting Whiskey, Drinking Cocaine, Pat Travers, and they have Pat Travers guest on it. And Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo with Rick Derringer guesting on it. Both versions very good. Their studio stuff is great. If you like good southern rock or hard rock, and live they were fantastic. They did probably the best version of War Pigs I've seen in my life. I think there's a YouTube clip of them doing it as well live. They do it with 2 guitars. Iommi would be proud. Here's the back of the Pat Travers. Seen him live a few times. And during the show, I made a point of carrying this shirt into the Count 77 concert they had here. And when they did Snorting Whiskey, I ran down to the front, right at the very front, and held that tear shirt up right to the Count himself. And he kind of smiled and did a little wave. And after the show, they had a meet and greet with everybody and had them sign it. But anyway, here we go. Well, time for some Twisted Sister. This is an excellent shirt. This one I bought at Sweden Rock. I'm glad I've been going to the Fat Farm because it was a smaller size, but it's such a great shirt that I want to fit into it. Look at that. Love the colors. The writing's bold and just an excellent shirt. Twisted Sister, fantastic. And in a crowd setting like at Sweden Rock with, I don't know how many tens of thousands of people all singing along to these kind of songs, was pretty darn fun. Now again, for this shirt makes a case for my favorite shirt. Not so much for the front, but A, for the band. This is when I saw them at Sweden Rock again. Oh, if you ever go there, you gotta take money because the merch is the best. But seeing UFO live outdoors was just phenomenal. But here's the back. To me, the back is like a 10 out of 10. This wasn't the show. This is from like an older t-shirt, but it wasn't the tour I saw them at. But never got to see them with Michael Schenker. I saw them back in '79 or something like that in Seattle, opening them up, or Judas Priest opened for UFO in Seattle. So I drove from Vancouver to see them, but Michael Schenker had just left the band. But it was still really good. Any UFO shirt's phenomenal. That deserves a compliment, just having that. And here's one. These guys were at Sweden Rock as well, and they were great live a few years ago. There's a lot of songs I don't care for them because they get moody and they get, you know, they're not just a like one horse pony, but the one trick pony I like from them is the hard rock part, and they were great live. Of course, they played the hit like "Stealin'" and that. It was just phenomenal live. This shirt's kind of not the greatest, but still Uriah Heep shirt's a Uriah Heep shirt. Wake the Sleeper, it says. I've lost track of them. I'm sure they have so many albums out that there's probably tons of great songs that I haven't checked out from them. Kind of always known as the poor man's Deep Purple, but don't know if that's fair or not. And here's the band I saw. I drove to Seattle to see these guys on their first album tour. I had the shirt, I don't have it anymore, but it was just to cover the first album. But they were backing up Black Sabbath in Seattle on the Never Say Die tour. And everywhere I read says Van Halen blew him off the stage during that tour, but not that night to me. Van Halen were like a 9 out of 10, and Black Sabbath would have been a 10 out of 10. Like Ozzy was Sabbath, and the DVD of it's called Never Say Die with Black Sabbath during that tour. I'm sure it was that tour because it was the Never Say Die tour. It is just fantastic. I just don't see any issue, but maybe they didn't put everything into every show or something. But I'm sticking up for Sabbath. I didn't see Van Halen on this tour, but I just thought it was a great shirt. I can't remember where I got it from, but it might have been a thrift store find. But I don't mind wearing that. I still. For me, the first album's the album by them. Okay. Now, Purple Tour. Yep, I just got to see this in Vancouver a while ago. David Coverdale with Tommy Aldridge on drums. Unbelievable. In a kind of a casino theater type thing. It was beautiful setting. Sound was perfect. The shirt is perfect. Yeah, all the tour dates. And again, another case of where people, it's not the real Purple, it's not the real this, not the real that. I don't care. I want to hear these songs done just to see Burn live. It's worth the price of admission alone. Tommy Aldridge, it's only twice I've been where there's been a drum solo where the crowd chants the guy's name after. It was April Wine in Montreal where everyone was going, Jerry, Jerry, because it was such an intense, great solo. But after Tommy Aldridge did his drum solo with this show, the crowd was going, Tommy Aldridge, da 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 da. They weren't going, let's go Rangers. But Tommy Aldridge, and they kind of stopped the show for a few seconds, and it was an unreal drum solo. And Tommy Aldridge drummed with Pat Travers back in the day. There's a cool shirt. This album's really good too. If you get this album and Johnny Winter live and live, I can't remember how it goes, but they're both excellent live albums. Just real sweaty boogie rock. Should have mentioned them along with Foghat and Molly Hatchet earlier about boogie rock, but yeah, I wish there was something on the back, but there's not. Here's a band that came to Prince George. I couldn't believe it. But ZZ Top. Fandango to me is still their best album by a lot. And the others, there's still other stuff I like quite a lot too, but Fandango blows me away, the live part. The studio's excellent too. I'm not a Camo kind of guy, but shirt, nothing on the back. And this is just a shirt. Did a radio show for 15 years that I just stopped doing a couple of months ago. Big air guitar show, but just because I always thought it was kind of a neat shirt, I'm just showing it anyway. Plus it's in with the rock shirts, but big air guitar show, the home of hard rock, heavy metal, and power punk of Paparola! 88.7 The Fur! Yep. Thought I could take over the town, but no. It didn't happen. Here's just the red version. The last one's for Scott Waters, but I don't know. Thought the silver looked kind of different. Red and silver. This show is still on the radio. They're playing replays from, because it was on so long, they're showing a bunch of, they have the replays on like 5 times a week. Like it's a 2-hour show. And it's on the internet too, on Mixcloud, but don't know if anyone cares. And the last one, because the legendary Scott Waters had the nerve to have the LA Kings beat the Canucks in overtime last night. Well, what do we have here, Mr. Scotty? Oh, the Mighty Ducks. Not that I'm a Ducks fan, but this will teach Scott Waters to cheer for LA instead of the Canucks, so anyway, I guess that does it. So, lost the tutor. Okay. So anyway, that's it for the big edition, and guess just thanks for watching, and don't forget, slower traffic. Doot doot. Keep right.